Hello. So for today, we will be discussing a short summary of the Orange Book and a request of the people. I will be speaking in either English or Tagalog, Filipino. Okay, so Bisaya ko. So I will try my best. Other than that, I'll just use English to explain it if it's a bit hard for me. So Orange Book, let's go. So let's first start with chapter one. So chapter one discusses about the differences between social welfare, social services, and social work. So Tamili Mendoza begins first of all by explaining kung ano yung social welfare because the explanation dyan kasi is we start with social welfare and through social services we express that desire for social welfare and social work is a profession na nagbunga dyan. So, starting with social welfare, first, meron tayong apat na definitions. So, from Gertrude Wilson, she says na ang social welfare is the organized concern of all people for all people. So, it is an undertaking na ginagawa ng lahat ng tao para sa lahat ng tao. Walter Friedlander defines social welfare as the organized system of social services and institutions designed to aid individuals and groups to attain satisfying standards of life and health. So, mas mahaba yung definition niya, meron ng organized system of social services and institutions. So, it's more specific and it's not just a very broad or vague definition from Wilson na concern lang, no? So it's more of an institutional view of social welfare. And then we move to Elizabeth Wickenden, who says that welfare includes those laws, programs, benefits, and services that assure or strengthen provisions for meeting social needs, recognized as basic to the well-being of the population and the better functioning of the social order. So, from organized system of social services and institutions, it has expanded to include laws, programs, benefits, services, na yung goal is to provide for the social needs ng mga tao, the social needs of which are basic naman sa well-being natin. And then, for a more expanded pa na meaning, from the pre-conference working committee for the 15th International Conference on Social Welfare, defines it as all the organized social arrangements which have as their direct and primary objective the well-being of people in a social context. Includes yung mga policies, services, concerned with various aspects of people's lives, like yung income, security, health, housing, education, recreation, cultural traditions, among others. So yung commonality ng definition ng social welfare from all these four inputs that we have is that ito yung, first of all, organized siya, no? So it's not just a basic, dito kasi na-differentiate yung alms giving at charity lang. So meron na siyang organization factor and then it is expressed through services, benefits, laws, programs, so may action. And it's also just for the general well-being and functioning ng lahat ng tao. So therefore, no, social welfare encompasses the well-being of all the members of human society. So yung social welfare hindi siya namimili. So lahat ng tao ay may karapatan sa social welfare. So kabilang na rin dyan yung physical welfare mo, mental welfare mo, emotional, social, economic, at spiritual na well-being. So, paano nga ba ina-address ng society yung goal ng social welfare? So, una, individual and group efforts. So, individual na helping. So, kunwari, pag ikaw tumutulong ka sa family member mo na kunwari, it's hard for them to go to school. So, individual effort yun or group effort kung if ever nag-chip in kayo for like your niece maybe na mahirap. So, there is also the major societal institutions na yung designated role at responsibility talaga nila is to meet human needs. So, for example, we have the SWD, DepEd, lahat ng mga institutions like church, family is also a societal institution, government. So, they all have their roles and responsibilities. And then lastly is yung formal na social agency na talaga. So, mayroon tayong dalawang views on social welfare. So, first is yung residual formulation. So, ang view nito is that social welfare is only temporary. So, meron lang efforts to do social welfare during emergency situations, tapos binabawi rin ito pag yung social systems are working again. So, pag okay na, kumbaga okay, hindi na need ng social welfare. Yan yung residual formulation. Dahil dito, meron siyang view of dole out or charity. Kasi nga, binibigay lang siya pag kailangan. Pero, nag-improve at nag-evolve na rin tayo. Meron na tayong institutional formulation that sees social welfare as a proper, legitimate function of modern society. So, proper at legitimate, meaning may purpose talaga siya. So some individuals are unable to meet all their needs, right? It recognizes that. So normal lang daw na may mga tao talagang hindi nila um kayang mag-provide for themselves enough to do the whole functioning aspect. And so may mga agencies, helping agencies na tinatanggap natin as regular social institutions na yung purpose talaga nila is to help people with their social welfare. So, meron din tayong three categories of social welfare. Una is yung social security. So, this is the whole set of compulsory measures instituted to protect the individual and the family against the consequences of unavoidable interruption or serious diminution of the earned income disposable. So, example ng social security, obviously, sa Philippines, SSS and GSIS if you're a government worker. There's also insurance na you purchase yourself. So those are there because they are meant to protect you in case may mga disruptions sa income mo. And then second is personal social services, which have major bearing upon personal problems, individual situations, interpersonal helping, and the provision of direct services. Tapos may public assistance rin. So specifically yung mga material or concrete aid na binibigay sa mga tao na walang income. So in other countries, specifically in the West, this is simply called welfare sa kanila. So from social welfare, we move on to social services. So this refers to the programs, services, and other activities provided under various auspices to concretely answer the needs and problems of the members of society. So from social welfare, which is yung general lang na refers to the system, organized concern, ganun. So we now have the application of that belief. So social services na tayo. So meron na tayong mga activities na done by people because of that whole social welfare goal. So these are the means by which the collective concern of society for the well-being or the welfare of its members is expressed. So it is premised in the belief na at all times daw, may mga tao talagang may needs at may problems na beyond sa kanilang kapasidad na bigyan ng solusyon. So because of that, meron tayong social services. So Richard Titmus says that social services is partial compensation raw sa mga socially cost na diswelfare. So, according sa kanya, may mga resulting processes kasi ang society na nagko-cause ng problems sa mga tao at dahil dyan, gumagawa tayo ng mga social services to address or to compensate sa kanila. So ano nga ba yung goals of social welfare / goals ng social services? So meron tayong tatlo. So first is ang humanitarian and social justice goals. So yung goal na to is rooted sa democratic ideal of social justice. So we believe, of course, na yung tao has the potential to realize themselves. Except na may mga factors lang na either naghihinder or nagpe-prevent or nagpapahirap sa'yo from doing so. So as much as we want to achieve our potential, for example, basic lang na problem in the Philippines is of course poverty. So, pag mahirap ka, like, if you are that poor na it's even hard for you to go to school, then it's gonna be hard for you to realize yourself kasi mahirap talaga iangat ang level of living mo kung in the first place may mga factors na or may mga nagiging balakid from you achieving that. Therefore, we believe na it's only human and it's only socially just that man helps man. The second goal of social welfare is ang social control goal. So this goal is based on the recognition that yung mga tao na needy, deprived, or disadvantaged can strike out against what they consider to be an alienating or offending society. So there's a deviance aspect na dito, and that society has to protect itself from these people. So the purpose of social welfare is also to control those disadvantaged groups from striking out. So this is manifested in our corrections system, no? So third is an economic development goal. So my goal daw sa social welfare na we put priority on the programs na the goal is to support increases in the production of goods and services para naman makapag-contribute sa economic development. Kasi, as I mentioned sa example nga kanina, if you are unable to put yourself through education, mahihirapan kang maghanap ng work. Pag mahihirapan kang maghanap ng work, most likely is hindi ka makakapag-contribute as much as like humanly possible sa economic development. And may times pa nga na you can break through the social control goal. So you manifest those desires, no, to to have a better life in a way na hindi siya socially accepted. Okay, so from social welfare goal, the whole premise of social welfare, which is applied through social services, it has now become professionalized through social work. So this is the profession concerned with man's adjustment to his environment, specifically a person in relation to that person's social situation. So dito lumalabas yung pie natin, so person and environment, or more specifically, person in his situation in his environment. Right? So we don't only look at the person as the only cause of the social problem, although social work did used to think like that. Pero it removes the whole idea of the person as being the cause of pathology or just solely the environmental factors that's causing it. So social work is a practice-based profession. Pinapractice po siya, ginagawa po siya, and it's also an academic discipline. So related to what I said earlier, the problems are unmet needs, and these unmet needs or problems are caused by number one, personal inadequacies and pathologies. So posible yung problema is because of you as the individual, and it can also be situational. Maybe yung environment mo is not fostering your growth, or it can also be both. So, Chapter 2, Evolution of Social Welfare in the Philippines. Paano nga ba nagkaroon ng social work in the Philippines? So, ang history is first, it was formally introduced, take notes of formally, in the 1930s via the public welfare field. So, in the 1930s, we were under the US rule. So, when we say formally, meaning this is the time na officially called na talaga social work yung mga social welfare activities and endeavors na ginagawa natin. Because if we remember, meron ng form of social helping even as early as hindi pa tayo nasakop ng Spain. No? So, meron na tayong concept of bayanihan, right? Panagsilinganay. No? And then, eventually, when Spain came to conquer us, meron tayong services, although informal as it may be, but we had services from the church and from the elites, no? And then eventually the US came, and then they formally introduced social work. So it was officially recognized as a profession in the Philippines via RA 4373 in 1965. So as I shared kanina nga, no? So prehistoric period, social welfare work in those times centered on mutual protection and economic survival. So hindi necessarily that people were helping because they wanted to help, but it was more of they felt like helping because it was what was expected of them, and also to help the whole barangay system. So groups banded together and communities linked with each other through marriage among members. So we know that there wasn't a Philippines yet. So people, different islands, no? So iba-iba tayo ng parang political system back then. So we only linked with each other if we needed to for survival. And then eventually, the Spanish period. So the Spaniards brought the teaching to do good to others. So this is the whole religious belief na we have to do good to help people para mapunta tayo sa langit for the salvation of our souls, which for many years was the underlying philosophy behind all these social welfare activities. Is people helped other people because it was a good thing to do and because gusto mong pumunta sa langit. Ganun. So it was manifested first through hospitals. So yung first hospital daw na established in the Philippines was founded by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi in Cebu in 1565 kasi dito sila first nag-step foot again after Magellan's discovery, of course, in 1521. It was transferred to Manila in 1571 and called the Hospitalito de Santa Ana under the supervision of the Franciscans in 1570. Second is yung mga asylum at orphanages natin. So, still with the goal of religious charity, no? So, pious organizations also undertook the establishment of asylums and orphanages for the poor and the needy. So, when we say asylum ng Spanish period, we don't mean asylum as in yung pang-mental, huh? So, asylum as in a place where you can ask for refuge, for help, place where you can go if, for example, homeless ka, ganun. So in 1882, an orphanage for girls in Mandaluyong and boys in Tambobong were founded by Augustinian fathers. And then meron din tayong asylums called Nuestra Señora de la Consolación and the Santo Tomas de Villanueva, organized para sa mga biktima ng cholera. And then in 1885, Asilo de San Vicente de Paul, an asylum for girls, was established, which they offered religious instruction, of course, primary education, and training in housework. So para sa mga girls ito. And then Hospicio de San Jose was founded in 1882 para sa mga aged, mga elderly natin at sa mga orphans, mentally defective, and young boys. And then sa mga Spanish din, nagtayo rin sila ng mga schools. So the first school established was a parochial school at Cebu in 1565, founded by Augustinian friars. And if I'm not mistaken, this is now the Colegio del Santo Niño. And Christian religion, Spanish culture, language, music, writing, reading, and arithmetic, and some vocational courses were taught. But of course, these were only taught to the boys. So, Spain, if ang i-need lang natin i-note during Spanish period, it's very religion-based. So, lahat ng mga ginagawa, whether hospital, asylum, orphanage, school, or any other forms of doles or charity, was because people wanted to be saved. They wanted their souls to be saved. Next is yung sa American period. So as mentioned earlier, it was formally introduced or sometime around this. So in 1899, binenta tayo ng Spain to the US. So Americans began to occupy the country and they introduced with them a new educational system, which are the public schools, new health methods, and religious freedom. So from restricting Filipinos into becoming Catholics, they gave us religious freedom now. So dahil dyan, we already have a clue that Americans didn't focus on using religion as the whole concept of social welfare. So, by this time, medyo established na somewhat yung social work or at least social welfare efforts in the US through inspiration from other countries like, for example, in England. No? So, in 1902, the unang ginawa ng US is to build an agency called the Insular Board para ma-coordinate at ma-supervise yung mga pribadong institusyon na gumagawa ng welfare work because back then in the Spanish period, kanya-kanya lang po siya. So it's not necessarily government controlled or walang intervention yung government dito. So it's more of religious, right? Kasi malakas yung power ng mga pare noon. So now the US created this insular board para ma-coordinate at ma-supervise yung mga institutions. And then in the 1915, through the Public Welfare Board, gumawa sila ng Legislative Act 2510 para again to coordinate the welfare activities. Same idea. 2 years later, gumawa the first government entity to operate as a welfare agency and an initial step in child welfare services was set up. And then may mga attempts din para ma-alleviate daw yung kondisyon ng mga deaf children sa Philippine Normal School and to make a school for the deaf and blind. This was also the time na namayagpag yung American Red Cross. So they took charge of disaster relief in the country kasi wartime tayo dito. And to administer Red Cross funds from the US. So, 1907 din, yung La Jota de Leche. Jota in Spanish, um, leche is milk, right? So, established to furnish childcare institutions with fresh cow's milk. So, parang dole out-ish lang to. It was a dairy farm in Pasay, Manila, supervised by a veterinarian. Kasi cow's milk siya, no? So, ano? Okay. So this agency later opened free consultation clinics for mothers. So they expanded, no, from just giving milk to children, nag-expand na sila to have a clinic for mothers. So La Jota de Leche is the drop of milk. Okay. And then in 1913, yung Asociación de Damas Filipinas, these were women who organized themselves, civic-spirited women, to help destitute mothers and their children. So yung mga mayayamang asawa ng mga mga elites, they created this organization to help mothers and their children. And then the Office of the Public Welfare Commissioner was created in 1921. So from the Public Welfare Board, from Insular Board to Public Welfare Board, we now have the Office of the Public Welfare Commissioner na charged din sila sa pag-coordinate at intensify ng mga activities sa child welfare and organizations, pero nahirapan sila sa aspect ng health. Kasi mataas yung high infant mortality rate sa second decade of the century. So in 1922, they created solicitation forms na nag-require sa public to demand na any person appealing for donations and charities, okay, to protect the public and organizations from yung mga people na nanghihingi lang kahit hindi naman talaga nila need, or they're probably using the funds and saying na it's to help people but it's not, binubulsa lang. So, continuing with the American period, Associated Charities had become an independent agency under the supervision of the Public Welfare Commissioner. So, if we remember, with the history of casework, in 1917, the Associated Charities, which is yung version natin ng Charity Organization Society from London and the US, we now have this in the Philippines, and they were the ones who introduced casework to us. So in 1924, it has become an independent agency, pero under the supervision, of course, ng Public Welfare Commissioner and partly financed by the government, so it's a quasi-government agency. And the Philippine legislature passed a law, the Philippine Legislative Act number 3203, na relating to the care and custody of neglected and delinquent children. So may probation officers na for them. So more and more social welfare. There was a lot of progress of social welfare during the American period kasi sila po talaga yung yung parang strong suit nila, yung social welfare, I think even until now. And scholarship grants were given to train professionals in social work in the US. And because of that, we have the very first Filipino social worker, si Miss Josefa Hara Martinez. She obtained social work diploma in New York in 1921, and she worked for the Public Welfare Board. So eventually, yung Associated Charities is nahirapan sila to cope with the number of applicants for relief kasi war na po talaga dito. In the 1930s, for relief and other social services, despite appropriations made by the Office of the Public Welfare Commissioner, Dr. Jose Fabella. So, si Dr. Jose Fabella is ang father ng Philippine social welfare. So the American period was the first time, specifically under Frank Murphy's administration as a Governor General, where yung government is nag-assume ng full responsibility sa relief ng mga tao na na-distress dahil sa war. Okay. So, from the American rule period, we have the Commonwealth period. Ito yung time na naobserbahan pa tayo ng US if we could manage ourselves. So around the 1940s, of course, around the time of the Second World War, the Office of the Commissioner of Health and Public Welfare was abolished, and pinalitan ito ng Department of Health and Public Assistance Service, which took over the activities that used to be performed by the Associated Charities, which by then had ceased to exist. And then, sinakop na naman tayo ng hapon, so the social welfare activities during this time kind of halted or lessened a bit. At nag-focus po tayo sa pagbigay ng medical care and treatment as well as food and clothing to wounded soldiers, prisoners of wars, and civilians. And then we have ang post-war years. So after ng World War, no? So we have in 1946 yung Bureau of Public Welfare na nagbukas uli. But nahirapan sila kasi may lack of funds. Kakagaling lang po natin ng war dito. And then in October 4, 1947, yung Bureau naging Social Welfare Commission at nilagay na po siya sa ilalim ng Office of the President. August 1948, so si President Quirino po, ay gumawa ng PACSA. So President's Action Committee on Social Amelioration. So as mentioned earlier, post-war, kakagaling lang po natin ng war. So yung focus po ng government is to ameliorate the people who suffered because of the Second World War. They gave a comprehensive program of health, education, welfare, agriculture, public works, and financing. And then, all at the same time, yung UNICEF noong 1946, it was created by the United Nations General Assembly, yung UNICEF po, to further maternal and child health in economically underdeveloped countries like the Philippines. So they became active in 1948 as well. They gave basic health care services sa mga nanay at mga bata, consisting of medical care, feeding programs, and health education. And then, noong 1951, yung Social Welfare Commission at yung PACSA, pinag-isa into the Social Welfare Administration. So, yun nga, pinag-isa po yung Social Welfare Commission at PACSA, naging Social Welfare Administration, right? So, ito yung mga roles po nila. So, meron po tayong Division of Public Assistance, which became concerned with the need for a more professional administration of public tax-supported welfare programs and services to needy and disadvantaged members of the community. So yung opisina po na ito may dalawang programa. First is yung assistance given in the form of general assistance lang sa mga dependent minors, yung mga aged, at yung handicapped at special assistance naman ang binibigay to clients na may needs at problema na temporary ang nature. May binibigay po silang material aid like food, financial aid, transpo, medical, institutional care, and work relief. And then, yung second program po ng Division of Public Assistance is yung service, rendered in the form of rehabilitation. And then, under that, yung Child Welfare Division Services is also under the SWA. So, dito na lumalabas yung casework, guidance services for children. And then third is yung Division of Rural Welfare, created by AO number 7 on September 5, 1951, which dealt with the mounting social problems sa mga rural areas. So yung focus during this time is self-help. It became the underlying philosophy for the rural community development projects. And in 1965, yun na nga yung landmark law po natin, which regulated the practice of social work and the operation of social work agencies in the Philippines. So this law required now the completion of a Bachelor of Science in Social Work degree, 1,000 hours of supervised field practice, at yung pagpasa po natin ng government board examination in social work para maging lisensyado at rehistradong social worker. So this was the law that formally recognized social work as a profession. So hindi lang po siya yung basta-basta lang po tayo tumutulong without a systematic process. So in the 70s, ano ba nangyari sa social work? So in September 8, 1976, the Department of Social Welfare, previously yung SWA, became the Department of Social Services and Development. So this was a precursor of the shifting emphasis on the traditional na institution-based social welfare into community-oriented programs and services kasi yung nadagdag is development, right? And then June 2, 1978, Ferdinand Marcos Sr. issued the Pre-D 1397, which converted departments into ministries. So, naging Ministry of Social Services and Development siya. Pero same pa rin naman yung org structure, function at programs. Yung name lang yung pinalitan. So, the 60s and 70s were considered the UN developmental decades. So, second developmental decade na yung 70s, which is as seen here. Pinalitan yung name, nilagyan ng development. So, ito talaga yung focus during this time. Marked the existence of voluntary orgs and establishment of even more agencies at this time because we were kind of trying to stabilize already at this point. So in the 80s, Yung SEA, Self-Employment Assistance, ay in-upgrade para maging mas responsive to the needs of the clients. Nagsimula na po ang case management system. So, social welfare indicators monitor the level of well-being of the service users ng Ministry of Social Services and Development. So, in 1987, President Cory Aquino signed Executive Order 123. So, from MSSD, ni-reorganize na naman at pinalitan yung pangalan na what we know now as DSWD, Department of Social Welfare and Development. So, it meant that this agency was evolving from welfare, no, or relief agency lang into the greater task of development. The approach taken by the agency during this period is described as preventive and developmental, participative, and client-managed. In the 90s, yung DSWD ay nagpatuloy sa 5 program areas of concern nila during this time. So, may priority na binibigay sa mga low-income municipality and other socially depressed barangays. So, in particular, for example, yung Mount Pinatubo eruption in the 90s, dito po ginamit yung Crisis Incident Stress Debriefing or CISD, a form of crisis intervention used with victims of disasters and other crisis situations. So, mabilisang lunas. In October 10, 1991, RA 7160, not to be confused with the 7610, which is yung child abuse law. This is the local government code. So, yung implementing functions or yung pag-implement ng mga program at services ay dinevolve na, binaba na po siya sa local government unit, which is why we have MSWDO, CSWDO, LSWDO. Yung DSWD naman ay niretain pa rin yung specialized social services, yung 4 na kategorya. First, yung center at institution-based services nila, still theirs. Community-based programs and services, locally funded and foreign-assisted projects, and disaster relief and rehab augmentation, still under the DSWD. Now, there are many social agencies, orgs, and institutions under private sponsorship na nagpo-provide ng many different social services. So, yung Philippines is home to a lot of NGO. And go back with the social work law and the RA 4373, it provided na walang social welfare agency na pwedeng mag-operate and be accredited unless naka-register po muna siya sa Social Welfare Administration na nag-i-issue ng corresponding certificate of registration. So you can't be an agency without getting accredited by the DSWD. So in RA 5416, it empowered the Department of Social Welfare and Development to set standards and policies, to accredit public and private institutions, and coordinate government efforts in social welfare work to avoid duplication, friction, and overlapping of responsibility in social service. So a concrete example of this is pag merong non-government agency na nagpo-provide ng services, and then you are a member na or recipient ka, tapos nag-apply ka ng 4Ps, if it's observed na may duplication na ng services, you will not be eligible for the latter. So, Chapter 3, the social work profession. So, this is a more in-depth description and discussion of social work as the one I did in Chapter 1. Okay, so yung social work is a profession na pinapractice either independently, meaning mag-isa ka, or as part of a team in many different fields like health, education, productions, and community development, among many others. At yung person na gumagawa ng social work is called the social worker, who intervenes in countless problematic situations that people find themselves in, who needs help in order to function well socially. So ano ba yung focus of concern ng social work? It is yung social functioning. So William Schwartz stated na every profession has a particular function to perform in society. So, wala namang profession na walang purpose. No? So, lahat daw ng profession is may specific function siya na ginagawa or ginagampanan sa society. And it receives a certain job assignment for which it is held accountable. At ito yung social functioning, yung concern ng social work. In general assignment natin as social workers is i-mediate ang proseso through which the individual at yung society is nagre-reach out to each other through a mutual need for self-fulfillment. Bakit nga ba ito sinabi ni William Schwartz? Is because he is the proponent of the interactionist model. So, according to him, people daw at yung group or yung environment nila is symbiotic, meaning interdependent at kailangan nila yung isa't isa. So, ang purpose daw ng social work is to mediate individual at yung society. Ang ating entry point or yung field of intervention, yung kumbaga dyan tayo naglalaro, no, as social workers, is yung point na nagmi-meet yung dalawa, yung individual at yung environment or yung society. So, yung individual, may impetus or may drive, may kagustuhan, may willingness towards health, growth, at belonging. At yung organized efforts naman ng society integrates its parts into a productive and dynamic whole. So, according to Ernst Boehm naman in 1958, social work seeks to enhance the social functioning, again, with the social functioning of individuals, singularly and in groups, through activities focused sa kanilang social relationships, which constitutes interactions between individuals and their environment. So, it's another definition that talks about the individual, social functioning, at yung relationship at interaction ng isang tao at yung environment kung saan siya nagbibilong. So, yung activities under social work through Ernst Boehm's definition can be grouped into three functions. Una is yung restoration of impaired capacity, which implies na merong problem that exists with the person at kailangan i-restore yung capacity niya na mag-function socially. And then second is provision of individual and social resources kasi minsan need lang talaga bigyan ng resources yung individual para makapag-function siya. And then of course, ang prevention of social dysfunction. So, for William Gordon in 1969, the central focus of social work traditionally seems to have been on the person and his life situation complex. So, from person and environment, he specified it even more to person and his life situation complex. So, may dual focus sa tao at sa environment niya. And this focus has been concentrated at some times on the side of the organism as interpreted by the psychological theory, and at other times on the side of the environment as interpreted by sociological and economic theories. So there are almost three, right, factors in play. So yung side ng organism at yung side ng environment na ini-interpret through psych, socio, at economics. So yung mainstream of social work, however, has become hindi naman siya applied psychology or applied sociology. It is its own profession. So for Harriet Bartlett in 1970, she says na yung social functioning is the relation between the coping activity of people and ang demand ng environment sa kanila. So coping, so there is a focus on the individual. So yung capacity mo to cope, to perform, whatever it is you have to perform, at yung demand ng environment from you. Because we all have different roles to play in our lives. And each role comes with expectations. And these expectations, which are most of the time generally applicable, may iba-iba tayong coping capacity at skill to do it. So there are also factors that prevent us from maximizing our usual capacity. So this dual focus on the people and the environment, thus person and situation, people and environment are encompassed in a single concept that requires that they have to be reviewed together. You cannot just look at the individual or look at the environment alone, but you have to look at them as a whole. So Louise C. Johnson in 1989 says that social workers become involved when individuals are having difficulty in relationship with other people in growing so as to maximize their potential. So pumapasok daw yung mga social workers pag yung isang tao ay may difficulty sa kanyang relationship with other people in the process of growing and in meeting the demand of the environment. So ang core ng social functioning, which problems are the reason for the worker-client interaction. So the reason bakit my worker-client interaction is because may problem sa social functioning. Thus, the ultimate goal of all social work practice is the enhancement of the social functioning of individuals. So, early definitions of social work is more focused on individuals pa kasi hindi pa sila nakakapag-come up ng group work at CO as a method at this time. So we always talk about the social environment which the individual navigates. So ano nga ba yun? So the social environment is a network of overlapping social systems and social situations, including ecological systems, cultures, and situations. So network meaning obviously marami. And these are overlapping, so they are in constant interaction with each other. So your family is influenced by your church is may be influenced by the wider church. Your family is also influenced by the government. You are influenced by the government. The government may be sometimes influenced by the church and other social systems existing within social situations. So, social situation naman is an impinging segment of the social environment. Smaller siya, mas maliit, more immediate from your environment na meron din siyang meaning sa individual at is uniquely perceived or interpreted by him, in which he has one or more status, role identities, or maybe group member siya at isa siyang role performer. So, anong pinagkaiba ng social environment at social situation? Social environment is wider, broader in scope. Within your social environment, meron kang social situation because of the roles and identities that you play. It's uniquely perceived and interpreted by you. Kasi even though you may be in the same social environment as, let's just say, another person in your family, you're going to be in different social situations because you interpret it differently. And social work job assignment then involves mediating based on Schwartz. No? So symbiotic or symbiosis that exists with society and individuals, matching, according to Gordon, and striking a balance between people's coping ability and situational or environmental demands. So para tayong middleman, kumbaga, based on their definition of this, we mediate, we match, and we balance the person and their coping ability and the demands of the environment. Social roles then is defined as the socially recognized pattern of behaviors and activities expected from an individual occupying a certain position in society. Because as I mentioned earlier, we are daughters, we are women, we are students, we are social workers, we are different people, no? We have different hats to wear. And those come with social roles, which are the expectations of which the activities that you have to do, you have to perform, be considered functioning. So, what are the causes of and responses to social functioning problems? It can be caused by factors inherent in the person. So, baka yung problema is ikaw, but then there's also factors in the situation or environment. Baka yung problema is the environment we are in, or it can also be both. Therefore, social work intervention is always directed towards enhancing or improving the individual's social functioning through any of the following ways. Change strategies is pwede mo i-direct sa individual. Possibly, you want to work with a client by changing something in them. For example, lang to through behavior modification, improving their skills, capacity building, or you can also direct your change strategies towards the environment or both the individual and the environment. So in 1958, the Commission on Practice of the U.S. National Association of Social Workers, or the NASW, came up with a statement of what has since been accepted as the three purposes at function daw ng social work. Una is, maraming slash no, sa restorative, curative, remedial, at rehabilitative function. Ang function daw ng social work when it comes to this is ang pag-assist sa mga individual at groups to identify at to resolve or minimize problems arising out of disequilibrium between themselves and the environment. So this is with the premise na may nag-i-exist na problem already. Number one, curative. Nire-remove yung factors na nag-cause nung breakdown sa social functioning mo. Curative, from the word cure, you're giving treatment to that. And then rehabilitative aspect, binabalik mo yung person sa normal or healthy functioning nila. So, this can come in conjunction. Curative, nire-remove mo muna yung nagkukos ng breakdown at rehabilitative, binabalik mo yung tao. So, second function is preventive. Ina-identify mo yung potential areas na magkukos ng disequilibrium or problema sa individual, group, at environment para ma-prevent or para hindi na mangyari yung possible na equilibrium. This is with the premise na may mga risk factors na nag-i-exist but hindi pa nagkakaroon ng problem. But may potential lang. Third is developmental function. Ginagawa ng social work dito is nagsiseek out, hinahanap mo, in-identify, at in-strengthen mo yung potential ng individual, group, and communities. Premised on the idea na walang problem na nag-i-exist sa client or that they are functioning enough for you to be able to work on something. So, social work as a profession, again, promulgated in 1965 via RA 4373, may 5 elements na nag-constitute sa ano nga ba ang profession. Kasi we always talk about social work as a profession, but what does a profession have that distinguishes it from a simple occupation lang? According to Ernest Greenwood. So first, systematic body of theory. Yung profession daw, meron daw body of theory or fund of knowledge na nagsusupport dito, which the skills that exist from there is characterizes that profession and has been organized into an internally consistent system, meaning there is a system to what we do. Okay? So, according to that, meron tayong 3 types of knowledge. Una is yung tested, hypothetical, and then the third is yung assumptive knowledge. Tested knowledge, what we mean with that is yung knowledge na na-establish na through scientific study or research. So, it has undergone a process of being contested, hypothesized, and has been found to be true or applicable. And then next is yung hypothetical. It still has to go and undergo transformation into tested knowledge, but is otherwise generally accepted. And then next is yung assumptive knowledge or yung practice wisdom. Yung knowledge na hindi naman siya tinuturo. Nanggagaling lang siya from your experience or from what previous social workers have already gone through and has learned through their practice na sinishare nila sa atin. For example, dito yung pakikiramdam, right? So those are knowledge that we realize that, okay, a social worker needs this. So we, of course, know that social work is a humanities and profession, right? So we also take knowledge from mga neighboring disciplines like psychology or even law. We even have management research, no? So we also take notes from sociology, anthropology, and so on. So these are knowledges that we get basis from, especially with dealing with clients. And then we have also created our own theories that is added to tested knowledge. The second attribute of a profession is professional authority. So yung social worker ka, hindi lang siya, there also comes with it like a prestige from being a professional. So extensive education, you as a social worker have undergone extensive education in the systematic theory of your own discipline. Kasi nag-aaral ka for it. There's undergraduate program and then you can even proceed to master's program and even doctorate program. That gives you the type of knowledge na yung ordinaryo na tao does not have. Okay? Third attribute is community sanction. So the community sanctions a profession's authority by way of giving it certain power and privileges. So this means na we, as part of the profession, gets to decide who becomes a social worker by the way of our controlling sa ating mga review center, how we become a social worker, admission into the profession, and see standards for professional performance. So we have the power as a community to sanction ourselves into deciding the certain power and privileges that comes from being a social worker, which is fortified by RA 4373. So to become a social worker, you need to pass the board exam. So that's one of the ways that we can say that social work is a profession. Number 4 is the regulative code of ethics. So this code serves to check the possible abuses which can arise out of a profession's exercise of authority and its accompanying powers and privileges. So related sa pangalawa, we have professional authority, and I know that we say na we are in a helping relationship with the client and that we shouldn't control everything they do, which we shouldn't. But we also have to acknowledge that we are at an advantage kumpara sa ating client because we have this knowledge that comes from our professional authority. And because of that, we have a power dynamic which puts us above our client. Okay. So because of that, we need a regulative code of ethics to serve as sort of our guide as to what to do or what not to do in the way that we practice our profession so that we don't impede upon the rights of our clients. Number five is professional culture. So among social work, meron tayong professional culture. So the interaction of social rules required by the formal and informal groups which generate a social configuration unique to the profession. So meron tayong sarili culture among ourselves, which consists of the following. So A, we have social values, the beliefs, and the fundamentals that we have as social workers, which creates the reason for our existence. Things that we believe in. For example, we believe in the worth and dignity of the human person. So yun yung value na meron sa atin that makes us different from other professions, for example. And then meron din tayong professional norms. Ito yung mga accepted standard of behavior of doing things na nag-guide sa ating pag-practice in various situations. C, symbols of a profession. Ito yung mga meaning-laden items natin like yung emblems, insignia, dress history, idioms, at vocabulary na stereotypes ng social work. So for example, yung mga ganito or like helping hands or something, which stereotypes the professional, the client, and the layman to be different from each other. Okay? So chapter 4, philosophical and value foundation of social work. So we know that the social work has philosophies and values as stated earlier. That's why we are a profession. So anong pinagkaiba ng values, knowledge, at skills? Because these are the three essential components. Una, values. Ito yung mga worth na ina-attach ng man sa mga certain thing, system, or person within the realm of usefulness, truth, goodness, or beauty. So these are things that obviously we value because we attach meaning and worth to those things, systems, or persons because first, they may be useful, perhaps they're also truthful, they share good, or simply because they have beauty. Second component is knowledge. Ito yung alam natin. What is thought to be as confirmed by reality refers to what in fact seems to be established by the highest standards of objectivity and rationality of which man is capable. So as close to truth as we can get, we have knowledge. Skills concerned with your application, doing, but not just doing it in whatever way you want to, but ably, expertly, and proficiently. So, hindi lang siya na basta-basta ginagawa mo lang, but there has to be skill and proficiency in it. So, professional skill is one's ability to apply the knowledge and values of one's profession in her work with her clients. So, this is developed not just by learning the theory, but also practicing the application. And this is why we say the social work practice is an art with scientific and value foundation. It's scientific because we have a systematic process, we have basis to it, there's values to be had, and there's also an art because it's a skill that you have to get used to and to practice to be good at it in your relationship with your client and yourself to achieve certain objectives. So, what is the philosophy of social work? We have different underlying and underpinning philosophies. The first of which is yung democratic theory. We believe na yung tao, man, has worth and dignity. Okay? So, we see man as having that worth because he is capable of reason, rational analysis, and choice. Yung tao raw ay may worth because yung tao is marunong mag-isip at meron ding kapasidad na pumili kung ano man yung gusto niyang gawin sa buhay niya. So, democratic meaning electory, we can elect to do certain things in life. Tapos, humanism by Howard Mumford Jones, which implies an assumption about man. Okay, so every human being, because they exist by the mere fact of their existence, because they are human, that automatically means that they have dignity. And then Christianity. So we know that social work started in the West, to be particular, mostly because of its application in religion. So we believe in helping others, helping being neighborly, ganon. So human worth and dignity in terms of man having been created in God's image. So we think, or some people see humans as having worth and dignity dahil tayo raw ay ginawa sa image at likeness ng Diyos. That means we have to treat each other in a godly way as well. So, what are the values of social work? Number one, each person has the right to self-fulfillment. So, lahat ng tao may karapatan na mapabuti ang buhay nila in a way that they feel fulfilled. Nobody should be prevented from doing so, of course, well within the means of um, what is socially acceptable and socially beneficial. Number two, each person has the obligation to seek ways of self-fulfillment na nagko-contribute sa common good. So, this right comes also with responsibility that you shouldn't just focus on your own self-fulfillment with the sacrifice of other people. So, yung way mo ng pag-fulfill ng sarili mo, dapat rin is nakakabuti or at least man lang hindi nakakasira sa right rin ng iba. Society has the obligation to facilitate the self-fulfillment of the individual through contribution of its individual members. So may obligasyon raw yung lipunan na tulungan ka sa pag-fulfill sa sarili mo sa tulong rin ng ibang tao. Or, each person requires for the harmonious development of his powers socially provided and safeguarded opportunities for satisfying his basic needs. So in relationship to society's obligation, lahat ng tao to achieve that harmonious development ng kanyang powers has to be socially provided, meaning society has to provide the means and the resources to do that at meron ring opportunities na nagsasafeguard sa kanyang basic needs. Number five, increasingly specialized social organization is required as society becomes more complex. So, with the development of society as we go on and the way we are civilized now, we are increasingly in need of specialized na social organization. So, hindi pwede yung basta-basta na lang gumagawa ng organization or gumagawa ng grupo ng mga tao na tumutulong. So, there has to be specialization and organization in the way we do things. Six, social organizations must make available socially provided devices for needs. So it is the responsibility of social organizations or society in general to make available yung pamamaraan na ma-fulfill mo yung sarili mo. Okay? So what are the concepts of social work then? Una, human potentials and capacity. We have this concept na yung tao kayang i-fulfill ang sarili niya dahil meron siyang inherent na potential at capacity to do that. And it is the job of social work to either enhance that potential or to unlock it. Second, social responsibility. May concept tayo na lahat ng individuals ay may obligasyon na mag-contribute at tumulong sa common good. Okay, so we have responsibility not just towards ourselves, but also to other people as well. Three, equal opportunities, premised on the ideal of social justice. So with the belief na may social justice, right? Meaning everybody gets what they deserve and what they need simply because they're human. So this also includes equal opportunities where everybody, not just for certain people or for certain groups, to be able to have the opportunity to fulfill themselves with a belief on fairness and equality. Because as said earlier, it is only just for man to be able to fulfill themselves. Number four is social provision. There will always be people everywhere at all times with unmet needs or problems which are beyond their capacity to solve. And it is thus a concept of social work for society to provide whatever it is that they need to be able to at least get to a baseline level where they can work on other aspects of their functioning. So we always talk about man as the center of the social work process. So we have different views about man. First is the naturalistic view, which believes that man is part of nature. And because of that, like any other things in nature, man can apparently be studied and understood scientifically. We also have the opposite view of that, which is the transcendental view, which says that science can never fully explain man because of our ignorance and because man has potential to transcend or to like go off the tracks, to transcend the natural order of things. So it's there's a human element to that no matter how much we try to, of course, study human behavior and to predict how people would act when they go through certain things, there's always the nature of men to just go a little off course. Three, man as social. So yung tao raw ay nag-a-aspire na mabuhay in good terms with other people. But then this is like a positive view about man, but then there's also man as a social. Na yung mga tao ay discrete individuals na only interact with each other to form groups because they need mutual protection and safety. So it's more of a functional approach to living. And then meron ding man as antisocial, which says that men are just self-seeking, egotistical people which are there to extend their personal gain regardless or at the expense of others. So it views man as a negative being. But as in the social work profession, we adhere to democracy's view of man, the democratic view of the human person, which says that man is viewed as capable of reason. Marunong raw tayong mag-isip. We have reason. We have a purpose to everything that we do. Operational analysis, meaning we analyze and we look at the choices that we have, and of course, to apply that choice. We believe that social, biological, cultural, and psychological influences are powerful in determining behavior, but ultimately, man can overcome these influences and exercise choice because, again, democratic, na may choice ka, it's electoral. Social work believes that man does act irrationally because of the social, psycho, biological, and cultural variables which influence the behavior of man, but that we also believe that man can still act rationally. Pwede pang mag-isip and to choose how to use your resources to make it work for your own welfare and for the welfare of society. So we acknowledge na may mga factors talaga na labas sa ating realm of control, but the only thing we can control is ourselves. And we can choose to act in a rational manner that fulfills ourselves. So the value foundation of social work in the Philippines in particular also takes into account na may mga values yung Pinoy na just Pinoy, okay? So first is yung value ng social acceptance. So ito yung value wherein we are taken by other people for what we are. Okay, so tinatanggap tayo bilang tayo, or at least how we believe we are. And we are thus treated according to sino tayo. These values are facilitated by these sub or intermediate values. First of all is smooth interpersonal relations or SIR. Ito yung getting along with others in such a way na maiwasan yung mga outward signs of conflict. First is pakikisama, or in English, it's like giving in, concession, or following the suggestion of others, also called as like conformity, I guess. So, for example, may CICL tayo na kahit gusto niyang magbago, gusto niyang to get better and to not continue engaging in the things that make him delinquent, continues to meet with his gang kasi gusto niyang makisama. Second is euphemism. This means stating of an unpleasant truth, opinion, or request as pleasantly as possible. So, pag magre-request ka ng tulong sa isang politiko, baka sasabihin niyang pipilitin ko or susubukan ko. 3, the use of a go-between or tulay, yung middleman. This means a third party who will carry a message. For example, a wife who is estranged from her husband will more often than not, ask the social worker to convey her conditions for reconciliation. So, ikaw yung nagsisilbing middleman dito. So, Filipinos have a tendency to give in. We are people who tend to avoid conflict, so we actually don't think it's a good trait na maging masyadong prangka. Masyadong direct. So there are times na we tend to just bottle things up and we don't bother bringing issues up to light and directly addressing it in the name of pakikisama and smooth interpersonal relations with others. Which is why Filipinos have a tendency to make blind items, but not necessarily just directly message the person they have a problem with. Okay, so next, under social acceptance is amor propio. So the term used to refer to the sensitivity to personal affront and functions to protect the individual against loss of social acceptance. Okay. So amor proprio can also be referred as protecting your dignity or your ego. So dito lumalabas yung pagiging pakipot natin wherein sometimes like when we go to certain places tapos ina-offer tayo na kumain, we're like, oh, wag na po. Pero kumakain din naman. So yun, that's amor proprio. Next is emotional closeness and security in a family. So we know that Filipinos are very family oriented, and this is something that you can observe when you go to other countries. Is it's not saying that they don't care about their family members, pero iba talaga yung influence ng family to a person here in the Philippines and the way that we are so close with family members. Um, almost to the point of toxicity. Three, the authority value. Yung family daw ay magre-remain close. They remain tightly knit if somebody specifically from a higher age group exerts for firm authority to keep the family together. Because they are seen as a person of authority. So why is this number two and number three in particular values that we have to take note of as social workers, especially when we work with family welfare? And that's because um Filipinos operate within the realm of the family and saving the family from losing face or getting shamed from certain things that happen in their lives. So minsan, for example, ayaw mag-report ng siblings ng batang inaabuso ng kanyang ama or incestual rape kasi mapapahiya sila, no? So security in a family and also authority value. Baka yung lola nagsabi wag na lang magsumbong. So, syempre susunod ka. Number four, personalism, which is the attachment of major importance to the personal factor that guarantees intimacy, warmth, and security of kinship. So, for example, if you want to refer your client as a social worker, this is why we pull some strings behind the back. Kasi, close ako sa social worker na to, doon ako magre-refer kasi may personal factor attached to it. Five, utang na loob, debt of gratitude. Social workers, we need to be careful when we deal with clients because of this. Is because they feel like they are indebted to our service because of the service that we gave to them to help them. So it is our job to remind them that we are helping them not because we want to get a debt of gratitude from them, but because it is our job to do so. Six is patience, suffering, and endurance. Filipinos like to suffer. I mean, we can see that from the politicians we still continue to vote for. I mean, not me. um, we see like the beauty, or we kind of romanticize suffering, which is why it's such a big deal now that we romanticize resiliency. It's because Filipinos think if you endure, you will get what you deserve eventually at some point. This very strong belief in that. And we are one of the people who sees suffering as a good thing because it means like I don't know why people see it as something positive. But it shouldn't be, which is why we need our standards raised. With that, social work also has its own principles. Number one is acceptance of people as they are. So tinatanggap natin yung client as they are. But hindi ibig sabihin nito is kinukonsente natin yung mga mali na ginagawa nila or the negative things, the bad things that they've done before. We just simply accept it as a part of who they are now. And the reason why it's the first principle here, according to Thamali and even Felix Rustig as well, is because you can't work with clients kung hindi mo naman sila tanggap in the first place. How can you see the good in them? How can you want to work with somebody when you don't accept them? So this is where you as a social worker starts first, accepting them. Second is participation of the client in problem solving. So it's important that despite the power dynamic that we have, it's important na yung client is nagpa-participate sa pag-resolve ng kanyang sariling problema. So they are involved in the interventions and the treatment that they have to do. With that, in relation is number three, self-determination as a right of the client. So we don't decide for our clients. Especially when it comes to formulating the treatment plan, it should have involvement and input from the client as to how they want to solve their own problems. because everybody has the right to choose, you guys. Number four is individualization. So, dapat alam natin na iba-iba yung mga client natin. So, in relation to acceptance, we don't see our clients as the same. Kahit same sila ng situation, same family, even same place, perhaps they come from the same school or they're both women, they will never have the same reactions, personality, responses, coping, and stuff. Each person is different. And with that is also the awareness that your client's going to be different from you. So you're not going to want to question why they did this certain thing because you wouldn't do it. Obviously, they're not going to be the same as you. Number five is confidentiality because we realize that this is a very close personal relationship and we are privy to information na posibleng ikahiya ng client or baka ikapahamak niya pag shinare mo. So just be aware of confidentiality because it's not ultimately like boundless. There are terms in confidentiality wherein you do have to break it, especially if it's a life or death situation for the client. But other or for like multidisciplinary conference purposes. But other than that, please be mindful of confidentiality. Number six is worker self awareness. So, client worker relationship are related. So, worker self awareness meaning you are aware of yourself as a person. Obviously, you're going to come with biases, experiences, values as well, your own personal values that will affect how you work if you're not self aware. You have to be aware that beyond being a human being, you have to, I guess, turn on your worker mode at times. Number seven is client-worker relationship. It must be purposeful. Dapat alam mo na client sila, worker ka. So there must be no crossing of boundaries and you need to be able to have a purposeful, meaningful relationship, which is ultimately the goal is to help the client. Okay, so literary concepts in social work. Number one, ambivalence. Related to sa worker, client-worker relationship. So ambivalence. It is when it is introduced by Bleuler based on the proposition na yung human mind is nagpa-function in a dualistic way. So minsan may mga conflict that exists in opposing tendencies that causes confusion and dilemmas within the person. Second is transference, a concept from Freudian psychotherapy, which is believed to take place pag yung client is unconsciously nasa-transfer siya ng mga attributes or traits or characteristics sa social worker galing sa mga tao na importante sa kanya, especially in early life. So, maybe the client will say, oh, you remind me of my ex-girlfriend or something like that. The opposite of that is counter-transference. So, yung social worker naman na nag-a-apply ng attributes sa client niya. So, she may say, oh, my client, this client of mine, reminds me of my father. Ethics, the science that treats morals and right conduct. So, professional ethics is more specific. It is a system of ethical principles and rules of conduct that are accepted generally by the members of a professional group na nakabase sa philosophy, value, at guiding principles ng profession na iyan. So, social workers as a profession has to have ethics that guide the practice. Okay, so ano ba yung code of ethics ng social workers according to PASWE? We believe in the inherent worth and dignity of all persons because we emanate from a supreme being na nagdidirect ng ating mga actions of love for one another. And then, we also believe na lahat ng tao ay may natural at social rights, capacities, and responsibilities to develop their full potential. We believe na yung human being may capacity na magbago at may pwedeng ma-recognize yung value of unity in diversity, individual differences, and pluralism in society. We believe in free men and women living in a free society where poverty is neither a fate nor a punishment, but is a condition that can and must be changed because we acknowledge that poverty is one of the biggest problems in the Philippines. So we need to liberate people from poverty as a goal. And the family is a basic unit of society and its vital role in the growth and development of the individual family system and community. So we believe na yung pamilya ay may malaking papel na ginagampanan bilang basic unit ng lipunan para sa ikauunlad at ikabubuti ng individuals in general. We believe that the government, the private sector, and the public have a joint responsibility to promote social justice, of course, and to ensure the political, economic, and social well-being of all people. So may role yung government. And we believe in the role of social workers as agents and advocates of change and in the promotion of professionalism, responsibility, and accountability. So it's more of this last statement is more of yung role natin as professionals. Okay? And that knowing that the Philippines is a very culturally diverse country in and of itself, that our professional practice is deeply rooted in our cultural values. And all of these statements right here, we are expected to abide by. Abide by. So for chapter 5, knowledge foundation of social work. So earlier we talked about the philosophical value philosophy of social work. And this time we're going to be talking about the knowledge or like the here. So like all other professions, ang social work ay kumukuha ng knowledge from a variety of sources. First of all, borrowed knowledge. As mentioned ko kanina, kumukuha tayo ng knowledge from our neighboring disciplines like psychology, anthropology, sociology, etc. And we also get knowledge from other professions because social work is a human service profession. So we also get knowledge from each other, like medicine and social work are also somewhat related, especially if you work in the medicine, in the health field. And we also have knowledge from social work profession itself. So, as explained ko nga rin kanina, we have tested knowledge, hypothetical, and assumptive knowledge. So, the social work knowledge foundation also has its own curriculum for undergrad and even master's degree programs. So, we have three different main areas of knowledge. First of all, ang Social Welfare Policy and Services or SWPPS natin, concerned with the organization, administration, and operation of social welfare programs and services na ginawa ng society para ma-meet ang human needs and problems at ma-develop ang mga policy and program na ito at ang interrelationship ng mga ahensya na gumagawa yan as well as the nature of needs being served by these programs. So, of course, it's important for us social workers, social work practitioners to be familiar with the policy, programs, services of our own country that is available publicly kasi part ng ating service is to navigate the service jungle for our clients, right? So, it would be hard to practice social work if hindi mo familiar yung mga application ng social welfare goals, which is manifested primarily in the Constitution and in different legislations we have. So, it's also expected that either we will be working under or we will be working as administrators and even supervisors of social welfare agencies. So it's only natural that we are also taught administration, social work administration, and supervision. Second is human behavior and social environment or HBSE, which is concerned with the material necessary for one, paano intindihin ang client sa kanyang sitwasyon. Pangalawa, ang dynamic ng individual and group behavior. At pangatlo, group and community processes na nag-iimpluwensya sa individual, sa grupo at sa komunidad. So, it is also concerned tungkol sa normal at deviant behavior. So, nandito yung mga subjects natin like theories of personality, deviance, and social change. Because, of course, social work is a human service profession and it's very important na marunong nating intindihin ang sitwasyon ng ating client para naman we can understand bakit ganun sila, right? So what are the decisions that prelude their personalities, what happened to them, and so that we have a theoretical base as to the services and the interventions that we do because we go into it with an understanding of who our clients are and why they are the way they are. So the third is ang social work practice or ang social work method. So this has three subcategories, which we know as working with individuals, working with groups, and working with communities. So the social worker in the Philippines is expected to be a generalist practitioner who does not specialize in just casework, just social group work, or just community organization, but is somebody who is versatile enough to be able to work with all three methods because the Filipino is a multi-problem client. Okay. So what are the areas of social work then when we talk about social work education and even in the board exam? So as mentioned kanina, we have SWPPS, HPSE, and social work practice, which is correlated to field instruction or our internship, which completes the curriculum plan. So SWPPS is yung mga general policy, condition, legislation, para paggawa ng batas, yung mga institutions na create ng society, the programs that we have, at yung mga serbisyo that we can offer to our clients. So part of the framework for SWPPS is we know that society responds to a variety of human needs and problems through the institution of social welfare. So yung SWPPS natin is a manifestation of the social welfare goal. So there is this concept of needs and problems. Ano yung need? It is something that you cannot live without and is absolutely necessary. And it is a universal concept na lahat ng tao may roong needs or may pangangailangan. So, of course, in general, humans have material needs, which are your food, clothing, and shelter. Of course, you can't live without those. And we also have non-material needs like spiritual needs natin, aesthetic needs or the need to look good in general, need for affection, acceptance needs, and achievements. And then, meron din tayong concept of problem or an unmet need. So, meron tayong problem as a manifest need or yung need na sinasabi mo talaga, express need mo. Problem as person-centered, so meaning the problem exists because of the person's pathologies. Problem as universal and yet singular. So it is universal na lahat ng tao at some point in their lives or even currently will have to face problems. And yet this universality of a problem is also singular at the same time because not everybody's going to have the same problem as you. Sometimes that problem may be similar to others, but it's also singular in the sense na ikaw lang naman ang may perception ng problem mo. The way you experience your problem, the resulting consequences, the precipitating factors, and other aspects of your problem is simply you. It's singular. There's a concept of problem as cause and consequence. So sometimes problems cause other problems, and it can also mean that your problem is a consequence of something. So my different types, I guess. Problem as an institutional lack or dysfunction in society's institutions. So minsan may mga kakulangan or kahuyangan sa ating mga societal institution in the way that they deal with our needs. And because of that, it creates a problem or a dysfunction within us. Meron ring problem as challenge and opportunity. So it's about rising amidst adversity. So we sometimes see a problem as instead of something causing an issue or a hindrance, some people tend to choose to see it as a challenge and something to encourage them to be better as an opportunity for a different realm of possibility. And then we have problem as requiring a solution in the form of social welfare services. So some problems in nature require a solution sa pamamaraan ng pagbibigay ng mga serbisyong para sa social welfare. And then we have problem as requiring social work help. So some problems require the intervention of social workers. It's as simple as that. Motivations for why we have social welfare programs and services. First of all, social justice. Again, it is right and just for man to want to realize themselves to the fullest potential. And it is the right of everybody to have access to their own rights. So that's social justice. We also have social control goal, which is based on the idea that if we don't create social welfare services for the needy, the disadvantaged, they may want to strike out against society. So it's just better for society to keep themselves safe from that by creating means to address this welfare. Then we have economic development. So of course, having functionally capable people and citizens with you will also help your country or your state or whatever area you're part of in terms of economic development. And then we have human values and norms that shape policies and services. You have your personal worth, social responsibility, self determination, and personality development as motivations for SWPPS. So, for HBSE naman, ito yung knowledge content na related sa curriculum area designed to help the social work student na maintindihan ang individual, group, at organizational, institutional, at cultural context kung saan ang human behavior ay nakaangka at nag-i-express and by which it is significantly influenced. So yung mga factors na nag-i-influence sa human behavior and how human behavior influences this as well. So, nakafocus siya sa ideya na ang individual ay isang biopsychosocial being. So, we are products of our biology, psychology, and our social environments. So, yung interaction ng mga aspetong ito, as well as the other forces like the physical, social, cultural, political, and economic forces in your environment, influences your behavior. Okay? So that at least when you do practice social work, it is based on an understanding of the client itself. So yung biological, when we say biological, it means the individual state of health and nutrition. We have genetics, physical endowment, natural growth, development, and deviation from normal functioning because of, for example, illnesses and disabilities. And then we have psychological component, yung inner state, yung personality ng tao, which has three aspects, yung cognitive or yung perceptual and intellectual. We have emotional, yung feelings, at cognitive, yung striving, or yung tendency mo na to do something with purpose. Okay, so yung social component naman includes the following elements. We have societal, institutional, status, normative, at interactive. Status is yung position mo in society. Institutional is yung arrangements na nakapalibot sa iyo. Societal is the aggregate data and social patterns that we're in, which help create the social climate in which you live. And the normative is yung mga forms ng mga social behavior na normal in your environment. And then interactive is the type of interaction and perception of interactions made of self and others that are a basis of behavior. Tapos physical, of course, yung natural environment mo, climate, topography, rainfall, ozone levels, yung mga ganong bagay, is also part of who you are. So ito yung mga factors influencing how the individual becomes themselves. You have your genetics, familial influences, social class nyo, culture, ethnicity nyo, kung ano yung mga nakasanayan yung types of behavior, yun yung na-inculcate din sa'yo. So yung goals and values din, yung mga aspirations nyo sa culture nyo is also something that's also socialized into you. Yung mga physical crisis, psychological crisis, the lack of or having economic resources and opportunities, societal structure, stress, roles, group associations, happenings, emotional strengths, social skills, intellectual skills, and physical energy. All of these 13 make up who a person is. So, what is social work practice then? Ito yung area ng curriculum na nakafocus sa pagtulong sa mga estudyante na matuto at ma-apply yung knowledge at principles ng social work practice na nakabase rin sa values at ethics ng profession. So, ang focus ng area na to is methodological, knowledge, and skills for professional practice. Dito na tayo nagtatanong sa ating sarili kung ano ang dapat gawin at paano ba siya gawin. So, from the theoretical HBSE to the very legislative related administrative SWPPS, this is where action really comes in for a social work student. Okay. So for chapter 6, Introduction to Social Work Practice. Okay. So ang conceptual framework ng social work is nakabatay siya sa premise na sa pag-practice mo ng social work sa Pilipinas, kailangan ikaw bilang social worker meron kang foundation ng mga values, knowledge, at skills na gagamitin mo sa iyong pagtrabaho isip as a social worker. As a social worker, working with your clients sa iba't ibang mga situation. Okay? So, ano yung essential elements ng social work practice? Ito yung client, worker, problem, at process. Without a client, obviously, there's no social work. Without the worker, there's also no social work. If walang problema, then there's no need for a social work. And if you don't do process, then hindi ka social worker. Parang ano lang, nagbibigay ka lang. So, yung very idea sa paglalagay sa kanila in the context ng planned change is useful because social work is planned change. There's no social work moves with intent, moves with purpose. Even from the start of intake until nag-action planning kayo, until data gathering, until creating your plans, implementing your plans, even evaluating and even terminating is all planned, deliberate, and purposeful. Okay, so ano ba yung yung dalawang main approaches with social work? We have micro and macro, and then the third one, of course, we know it's meso, which is working with groups. But for micro, yung approach na yun is nakafocus siya sa individual, mag-isa. So, mag-isa, but we also acknowledge that there is a role ng sa pagiging, for example, pagiging member mo ng pamilya or pagiging estudyante mo. So, regardless, even if the focus is working on with or on the individual, there's also an understanding that the individual is part of a larger social system. Okay, but regardless, your interventions will be directed towards assisting the individual or the person in coping with their stresses. Paano ba micro social work practice? The strategy is that you encompass most of casework, family counseling, and group activities by aiming to help individuals in a group setting and even in casework. So for macro approach naman, ito yung nakadirect primarily toward the community or larger social systems and the creation or production of change within this. So ano ba yung strategies ng macro social work practice? You encompass community organization, policy making, planning, group work strategies directed toward change outside of the members themselves. So it's more interactive work, but your direction of change is outward, not necessarily the individual. So what we talked earlier about how social work is planned change. So ano ba ang planned change? Okay, so ito yung change na nagmumula sa desisyon na gagawa kayo ng effort talaga para ma-improve yung system nyo at makakuha ka ng tulong galing sa outside agent sa paggawa ng improvement na yon. So, planned, meaning it's meticulous and it's deliberate. Okay, so hindi pwedeng, okay, you just change because you develop. Social work deals with planned change. So, every action done is undertaken with an objective and a goal and a purpose. So, again, elements of social work practice, we have number one, of course, client. This is the system na tinutulungan, that is being helped. Ito yung compromise term kasi pag sinabi natin client lang, minsan ang naiisip natin is just an individual, right? But we have started to call them client system or CS because we know that the client itself, even if if your client is just like this one person, it also means that they are part of a system. So they themselves are systems. Okay, so there's also the personality system under the client system, which is yung mga unconscious, conscious mo, yung mind and body mo. Ibig sabihin sa'yo, pakinaiya, no? Mga katangian mo. Tapos yung group naman is your families, committees, staffs, clubs, and other social units you are part of or you interact with. 3 is yung organization. So any of the larger social systems that compromise the community, business orgs, etc., etc. And lastly, yung mismong community kung saan ka nakabelong. So made up of a variety of interacting subparts, individual citizens, informal interest groups, organized subgroups, and economic and social strata, and geographicals. So ano yung phases ng plan change? So as mentioned earlier, social work is scientific at heart. So there's also different phases of creating change. One, yung client system is nakaka-discover siya ng need na palang tulong. So sometimes, may mga taong mahirap, I guess, for them to accept that they need help. But if you do end up convincing one of these people, sometimes you need to stimulate them. Okay? Phase 2 is yung helping relationship is established and defined. So, klaro kayong dalawa, ano nga ba ang relationship nyo? Okay? So 3, the change problem is identified and clarified. So from establishing or rather finding out that there's a need from phase 1, phase 2, you establish and define, and then 3, identify at clarify nyo na yung change problem. Number 4, alternative possibilities for change or examine. Okay, so change goals or intentions are established. 5, change effort in the reality situation or attempted. So yung plinano mo sa phase 4, i-apply mo na dyan sa phase 5. And then sa phase 6 naman is yung change is generalized and stabilized na siya. But sa real test is sa 7 kasi the helping relationship ends or a different type of continuing relationship is defined. And your goal here with plan change is that even if you as a worker will disappear at some point or terminate with your client, that also doesn't mean that you're gonna leave them to their own devices. Kasi yung mangyayari dyan, mag-relapse lang if hindi mo talaga mina-monitor. Okay. So what are the different types of change or the forces that are interplayed? So we have change force. Ito yung aspeto ng sitwasyon na nakakapagpataas ng willingness ng client na magbago. Okay? Tapos yung susunod is yung resistance force, aspeto ng sitwasyon kung saan pinapababa niya yung willingness ng client na mag-change. Maraming different na concepts related sa social work according to the generalist practice. So number 1, yung concept na isa o kahit anong client sistema ay pwede mong maging point of entry sa iyong pag-work with other client systems. So for example, here, a helping relationship can start on a one-to-one basis. And at an appropriate time, in the judgment of the worker, she moves on to a helping relationship with a group or community with the individual client as the point of entry. So, kung may client kang CICL, tapos na-agree for community-based intervention, no? Or community-based diversion, so dun ka titira sa laya. So, ano bang mangyayari dun? So, yung individual na yon na minomonitor mo, makikita, ma-observe mo nga, okay, marami palang mga CICL risk dito, no? So, parang maraming taong nagbebenta ng shabu, mga ganun. So, what you do is, you use that individual client as point of entry para gumawa ka ng youth group. Kumbaga, parang ganon. So 2, the concept of total problem solving. Yung generalist or integrated method is you see the client as part of the system na nagkukos o nakakapag-apekto rin sa kanyang problema at sitwasyon. At tinatanggap mo rin na hindi siya pwede maging helpful kung hindi niya to tinitingnan yung mga system na to. So, and then, we have the concept of a client's problem or situation as the basis for choice of the worker's helping approach or intervention. So, yung konsepto raw ng problema ng client at yung situation niya is magsisilbi raw siyang parang basis, no? Pagkukunan ng reference sa pagpili nyo ng helping approach or intervention nyo. Yung practitioner is nag-identify ng isang method ng practice at they usually tend to approach problem solving in the context of their specialization. But the generalist practitioner would approach the problem and select from an array of helping approaches to fit what is best suited to the client situation. So ito yung chart, no, ng generic ng social work. Philosophy again, human rights and dignity, and then yung 7 values. My guiding principles rin like client-worker relationship, acceptance, confidentiality, and then my professional ethics tayo, and yung scientific or knowledge base. So, strengths perspective. Ano ba yung strengths perspective? So, ito, hindi siya form, hindi rin siya model or intervention, but it's an approach. So, ito yung pamamaraan ng pagtingin sa individual, family group, or community. Tapos, gusto mong pabutihin pa. So, it serves as a framework for social work practice. So, it says here, lahat ng tao may wide range ng talento, abilidad, kapasidad, skills, resources, and aspirations. At may naniniwala sila sa human potential na dapat is tinatap talaga. The presence of this capacity for continued growth and heightened well-being means that the people must be accorded the respect that this power deserves. Absolutely, I agree. So, the main principles ng perspective, yung strengths perspective, is para ma-recognize mo na lahat ng individual, group, family, and community ay mayroong strengths and resources. So, ini-engage rin yung mga natutulog dito sa baba ng systematic assessment of strengths and resources. So, there's a science to what they do. So, they also acknowledge that sometimes some are victims of trauma, abuse, illness, and struggle na potentially makaka-harm sa'yo, but they may also be sources of challenge and opportunity. Kaya may bagong field na sila. So, serve clients and communities' interests through collaboration with them as directors of their own process. You mobilize the strengths and resources of clients and link goals to specific doable actions. And then you engage in social work with a sense of caring and hope.